registered dietitian and I am in San Diego and I own my own virtual nutrition private practice and I specialize in mindful eating and help people lose weight a sustainable way and get away from fad diets for the rest of their life. So before I started working with Lesli, I was only a dietitian for about 2 years, and I was working as a bariatric dietitian. And I knew that there was something deep down inside that I always wanted to start my own private practice. I think I was just too scared. I was nervous. I didn't know what to do, where to start. And honestly, I was paralyzed. So I was stuck in a position, as much as I loved my patients, I was really unhappy. The pandemic hit in March and I came home to do telehealth and I was seeing about 12 to 16 patients via telehealth a day. And I was the unhappiest I've ever been. I'm a very bubbly, outgoing person, and I've never been just in such a dark place before where I was not excited to get up in the morning. I felt like I was constantly this revolving door. I decreased, my quality of care in a sense to my patients because I was so overworked. And honestly, I hated what I was doing. I was talking about the same thing over and over. It wasn't stimulating anymore. So professionally, before I started working with Lesli, I was really unhappy with my position. I was happy that I was secure, where I was making a little bit of money here and there, but honestly, I was so unhappy with what I was doing. I didn't feel like I was making an impact in people's lives. And that started impacting my own life. It started affecting my health. My husband and I are newly married and we'd like to start a family. And it was really affecting my mental, emotional, and physical health to the point where I decided that I couldn't do this any longer because not only was I unhappy, but it was not making me the happiest person to be around the rest of my family. And they could tell and they could see how much I was internally struggling. And I was really excited to start working with Lesli because then it all changed. Some areas where I felt I was stuck or like needed help growing my practice. Honestly, I am a type A perfectionist. I'm sure every other dietitian is. And I felt that I didn't have a game plan. I didn't know where to start. And instead of just doing it and starting, I felt paralyzed and I felt that I needed some sort of yellow brick road, something to tell me you have to go from A to B, B to C, all the way. How do I get to Z? And I didn't even want to bother because I don't want to do something if I'm not going to be doing it well, and if it's not going to be perfect. So I started just kind of doing my own thing here and there through word of mouth. And I didn't really know what to charge. I did my dietetic internship at the VA. So I knew what we charged for a nutrition initial assessment versus a follow-up. So I thought charging $100 or $150, that's what I was worth. So I felt that I was stuck getting new clients and retaining them because it sounds really funny now, but like, I didn't know I had to go out and, network with people and ask people and tell people about my business. I just thought like, I have a name, I have a logo, and they're all going to flock to me. So it was really something that I just felt like I didn't know even where to begin, how to build a business. And I was really, really paralyzed. My mindset was just not in a good place. And that is something that completely changed when Lesli just gave me the motivation and some simple steps that I took. I started doing some research and I saw that there are a lot of business coaches. I was in a few Facebook groups and people were posting. I think a lot of people decided that during the pandemic was a good time to start their virtual nutrition practice. So I was just reading a bunch of the comments and I heard of a bunch of different coaches and ones that kept reoccurring, or people kept, saying, I work with this person's great. And I kept seeing Lesli's name. And I actually typed into the chat into like the Facebook thread, coaches, business coaches. And even from like 2019, 2018, Lesli's name kept popping up. So I'm like, this woman seems like she's probably like a good person to reach out to. But again, I was still paralyzed. I was terrified. So I ended up posting something. I wanted to see what people had to say, what their experience was with a few different coaches. And the same names kept coming up. And there you have it. Leslie's name came. So I ended up reaching out to the two people who just said the most wonderful things about Leslie, who are actually, my new friends now. One of them very close with now. And I had a long chat with one of them, who is one of Leslie's amazing clients who's just doing so well. And she spent an hour on the phone with me. And I just asked about her experience and what it was like working with Leslie. I was also talking to another coach at the same time, because again, I wanted to do my homework, do my research. And the other coach had a lot of praise and does really well. And I love everything about her as well. So I had a great conversation with her. And then I was actually talking with Leslie 2 days later. I was like totally set on this other coach. I was about to like give the check, like I was ready to go. And I was like, oh, I'm going to talk to Leslie. And like, I know she's probably great, but I'm totally signing on with this other coach. And I'm so glad I didn't. I went into the conversation kind of already like, I'm going to be with this other coach. And just the minute I started talking with Leslie, like I kind of felt like I was talking to my mom. Like it just felt so comfortable. But there is a lot of things that we had in common, which personally and professionally, when I started talking to Leslie, the difference between Leslie and the other coach was that I was looking for someone to be my guide and my mentor, not only for the time that I'm quote unquote working as a client, but like for the rest of my life. Someone to teach me how to build a foundation, a real true private practice that is going to last for the rest of my life. Not just when Instagram or TikTok or whatever social media platform is at its peak. And even a few minutes into the conversation, everything shifted. I was like, wow, like she has so much experience. She knows what she's talking about. And I just felt really comfortable. I didn't feel like she was trying to sell me. She spent time, even though our all of our calls are supposed to be 45 minutes, but I feel like I could talk to her forever. And she just took the time to answer all my questions. I asked her even some hard questions about who have been your clients that have not succeeded. And she's just so honest and open with me. And I could tell that if I wanted a true thriving practice for the rest of my life, whether it's virtual or brick and mortar, I knew Leslie, it just everything changed after our conversation. And then I was in a really hard place because I was like, I already thought I was going to sign with this other coach, but now like I'm in love with Leslie. What do I do? And I had a conversation with my husband and my family, and they already saw the red flags with the other coach. And again, I was being sold, but I think telling them just what Leslie and I talked about and the things that Leslie, gave me some guidance even during our first, just like our sales call. And my parents and my husband were just like, absolutely, you need to go with her. And I knew deep down in my gut as well, like things had changed that night after I spoke to Leslie. So I took a night to think about it, but it's just the answer was so clear. If I wanted to be successful for the rest of my life, not just for a few months on some hot social media platform, Leslie was the person that was going to skyrocket my career. So, some of the things I've learned so many things from Leslie, but some of the big things that I've learned from Leslie is really gaining confidence in when I am talking to potential leads, that discovery call, clarity call, complimentary, whatever you want to call it. That was crucial because that was a way that I was going to connect with a potential client and then bring them on. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I am very fortunate that my close rate or whatever you want to call it is extremely high. I've only had less than, I can't even count on two hands how many people that either couldn't afford me, which is always a thing, or that it just wasn't a good fit. I think that was more so that it was just a very cold lead. So I'm very fortunate that Leslie took the time. The first thing that we worked on was really my skills of having that conversation with someone. And I am comfortable talking with people. Again, I'm outgoing and I'm bubbly. So it was never something that I was nervous about me talking to a person, having a conversation, getting to know them. But it was really about what are the questions that I'm going to ask these people and how am I going to understand what are their pain points, dig bit deeper, talk about what they want their health to look like instead, and create that vision for them. And anytime that I didn't follow Leslie's instructions, then it didn't work. But every time I followed her instructions, absolutely, it just with flying colors. So some of the other things that I learned with her, again, it's that balance in my professional and my personal life. The reason why I started working with Leslie is to work less. Even though I'm working more, it's in a different way. I am in love with what I do every single day. And the biggest thing is probably that she taught me how to put myself out there and how to network and get new clients. And again, I am comfortable networking and meeting new people. I just got off the phone with someone else who is going to be referring people to me. The methods that Leslie taught me are like just totally tried and true. Like, I know it's something that will always work for me for the rest of my life. And now that I'm having people just, I don't have to reach out so much to refer because it's just word of mouth. But Leslie teaching me, reaching out to my friends and my family. And I feel very blessed that I am come from a family in a medical community. So I feel like I have a lot of good connections that I was able to use. And people are just genuinely happy for me for starting my own private practice. And again, this person refers to this person, tells this person, this person's daughter who went to this with this person. And it's incredible, the amount of people that are struggling with their nutrition and their health and are looking for a coach like me. And just from making that 30-minute phone call that she encouraged me. I mean, I wanted to send emails to just, blast something. And the fact that Leslie was like, you need to have that personal touch, that connection. And that's what I give to my clients. So she taught me not to take the easy way, but how to, again, network and really put myself out there, how to shift things and change things and get comfortable in having these conversations. Being in private practice, I am the dietitian, I am the financial person, I'm the marketing, I'm the digital creator, I'm everything. And so it's a lot of work, but at least Leslie was able to help me prioritize things. And every time now I do something, I'm always asking myself, what is going to make me money, but also what is going to put my business one step forward? And I'm only 4 months into my journey with Leslie. And I think the fact that I've really seen amazing results, even just after the first the first few days, I was able, and it's crazy looking at the numbers now, the fact that I was charging, $100, $150, and now I'm making, a $2,000 package and just in one day. Or now I'm really excited. Leslie probably thought I was crazy, but I wanted to prove her wrong in a sense. And also I just wanted to show that I could continue to grow. And after 3 months of just doing private one-on-one, I decided it was time for me to scale. And I have a group program that's starting in 2 weeks from yesterday. And I already have 7 people who have enrolled. And I started really small. I told Leslie, I just want 3 people. And I enrolled 4 people before I even opened the doors, before even telling the world on social media. So, I mean, I would have never been able to say that I could confidently get people in a group program, or I'm at, I think, 23 private clients just in 4 months with Leslie. Again, it's not about the numbers. It's about my personality has changed because I'm just so happy and I'm so excited to tell when I talk to my parents all of the things that are going on and that I'm doing, and all the messages that I get from people to say how proud they are of me or how they love my stuff or love this and that. And I love your videos or your energy. And it's just so gratifying because I'm actually helping people and touching people in a way that I've never been able to. And if it weren't for Leslie, financially, physically, emotionally, again, personally, I'm going through some things myself with my health, and I'm able to focus on what's important. And before, I never thought I could have it all. Not that I do have it all, but I'm pretty close to there, and I'm extremely, extremely happy with what I'm doing. And I have so much more to grow. And I'm so excited for new changes to come in my business. And, hopefully one day it's something that I'm able to expand and collaborate more with people, bring on other people. Right now, I'm still a baby. I'm still 4 months into it, but it's the progress that I've made and the results my mindset and financially, I could have never have imagined. Financially, it's just incredible to see what I've been able to accomplish. I remember asking my husband, like, "Oh, what did you think I would make when I started?" And he's like, "Ah, 1,000 or $2,000 here and there." And I've been having 10K months ever since I started working with Leslie. So I'm coming up on my 4-month anniversary with her, and I've already hit, I think it's 44,000. I have to look at the number specifically, but at least in January, and we're January 13th, and I've already hit over 15K, and it's incredible to see that I'm able to, if I just sign on a new client or get someone else in my group, or I'm doing some other different things like speaking in the community, and I'm getting paid a few $100s an hour just for my time. Like, I never used to be able to think that I could get paid to talk about what I love and what I love to do. If I were to tell someone who is toying and thinking about the idea of working with Leslie, 100% hands down, do it. I think it was the best decision that I've ever made. I know that my husband, my parents definitely think it's the best decision I ever made. Not only have I gained a mentor and someone who's going to help me propel my business just into literally a whole nother playing field, but I've made a friend and someone who I feel personally connected with. I've shared, there's just no filter when I'm talking to her, and I feel so comfortable. And I think that's really important in a relationship with a business coach, because if you don't have that trust and that personal deep connection, um, that person's not going to be able to help you get your business off the ground if you guys don't connect on that personal level. And that's something that easily, Leslie is just the most warm, loving, caring person. She's always rooting for you, even like when my clients text me their wins, and I'm always in communication with them. I just get so excited when I sign a client. The first person I text her and send her a text message, what happened, or I'm so excited to share my wins, because she shares them with me. And any of my hardships, or again, she'll take the time to kind of like, okay, well, what can we do? Or can you try this? Or she'll take the time and energy to make me feel better in that moment. Again, everything's not perfect. It's not like I'm always winning or it's always going up and up. There's always going to be bumps in the road. So to have someone a part of that journey with me, that I don't feel alone, and also just to have that support. Like, yes, I can do a lot of things without Leslie, but to have that sounding board and to have someone to guide me and to even make it even a little bit better, a little bit more strategic, that is going to work in my interest or my client's interest. It's I can't even put the words to describe that. It's just, you have this perfect package of a mentor, someone who is, again, like, feels like family, and I think that's priceless.